I like mixing pop figures with inanimate objects because I think it's just funny and doesn't make sense really, and that's the whole point. I think the first one was Mao with like eggs behind him, and it didn't fit together at all because he's this terrible dictator figure, and then eggs are kind of cheerful. Then I think it grew into like, what's going on? Drawing Trump and making him look how he looks was pretty satisfying. We are constantly bombarded with news that is upsetting, and being able to just take this news and these people who can be alarming and make them feel lighter and have funny backgrounds feels good to me. I'm Amelia Moore. I'm an artist based in Brooklyn, New York. One of my earliest memories doing art was with my dad. We would go draw this sculpture of a giant naked man that was at the Hirshhorn Museum in DC. It became almost like a game to go check on him, and sometimes over the years they would move him around the museum to different spots, so we would have to find him. It is kind of cool to think about how many times and at different stages in my life my dad and I visited this one sculpture. His approach of not taking it too seriously and just having fun definitely influences how I approach interacting with clients and patients. I'm in my second year at Pratt studying art therapy. Art therapy is basically a combination of traditional psychotherapy methods with art making, and that can look a lot of different ways. I first became interested and kind of aware of what art therapy was when I was working at a refugee shelter in Buffalo, New York. I went up there for 2 summers to work with the kids at the shelter. While I was there, I noticed that some activities felt really good and made the kids calm and happy, and other activities were terrible. That's when I started researching and learning that art therapy was a thing, and I could actually go in to work like this with more intention and understanding of psychology and like what works well for what type of person. One moment where the power of art therapy really clicked for me was when I was painting a wall with this 11-year-old boy from Nigeria. And we were painting over this mural because the shelter is in an old church, so it was one of those really scary religious scenes with blood and gore. And so we were just for a few hours standing there painting repetitive black strokes, and it was nice because it was such a big portion of wall that you weren't really worried about messing up or making a mess. You were just trying to cover something up, and there was something like really calming and kind of meditative about it. And he started opening up about his experiences at the shelter, which hadn't happened until that moment. Some parallels I see between my own personal art making and art therapy, I think, are bringing in humor and like not taking things too seriously. A powerful aspect of art therapy is simply letting go and having fun, and even in really intense placements. So I'm at an inpatient psych hospital right now, and there are moments in the art room that are so funny and filled with joy, and it's really not a joyful place, obviously. And I think the more that I bring in my lightness and humor and joy into this place, sitting with someone and drawing, the more it helps them to access light and joy in themselves.